Hello, we are here at Sandy Lane Elementary. My name is Sandra Rivera.
I'm Maxine Baird. Courtney Egbert.
And I'm Melinda Ryder.
I am personally going to talk about some of the strategies that were used during instruction. I really liked how they used a lot of closed reading strategies. They did things like where they had an article that they were all reading as a class, and they would circle a word that they didn't know and write the synonym or the definition along the side so that it would help them. Another thing they did was write a question mark next to a passage they didn't understand, so they would go back to it. They also did some summarizing of some paragraphs to help them understand what they were reading for their comprehension. They underlined key phrases, and that's basically it.
Okay, one of the specific students in the classroom that had brain deficiency was student M. Yeah, sorry. Student M had a brain deficiency due to lack of oxygen in vitro. It causes extreme short-term memory loss and comprehension issues. So, working with him, I couldn't tell until I actually started working with him that he even had any issues at all. The accommodations that the teachers have for him is a whisper phone, which he's able to whisper to himself while he's reading to himself, so he can hear it and it helps him process auditory processing. He has physical touch reminders. They touch him on the shoulder and be like, "Are you on task?" He has constant reminders for tasks. All constantly. He has to be constantly reminded because he'll forget in like 2 seconds what he's doing. When the teacher's working with him, they have to come by and point to the problem he's on, say, "Okay, we got to finish this. You got to complete the sentence. You got to complete the problem." When he's doing tests such as like the FCAT, he has to be in a small setting, 1 to 3 students. He has to be isolated with no distractions, so pretty much facing a wall, like a blank wall, so there's nothing for him to look at and stare at. And that is it for student M.
The next student is student S, who was placed on the lower end of the autistic spectrum. Just observing the student, like she said, you would not be able to tell that he was disabled in any way. He just looks like a normal kid, other than, I mean, his hair's messed up, but that's not a disability. He needs constant redirection during the assignments. I've seen the teachers turn around and say, "Are you on task? What are you doing? Are you writing a complete sentence? Does this make sense?" And having him elaborate on what he's written so that he understands easier what his mistakes are, basically. She said that he needs one direction at a time. She cannot move on until he has finished the one step of the assignment. She cannot give him another direction until he's finished the first one. We've gone to the computer lab, and he's worked on building vocabulary, and also that the computer lab helps him with sentences and like parts of speech. And that's about it for student S.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about their IEPs. We came in early the first day and talked with the teachers, and the IEPs that we spoke about were all academic based. Like Courtney said, when you walk in, you really can't physically or visually see any disabled students. They really just struggle with the academics and the memory and implanting the information into their brain. So you really have to do the information several different times. The IEPs are all academic and not behavioral, and I think that it was a little eye-opening for all of us at really how you just have to dig in that information to get the students to remember and take that next learning gain. I know for me it was definitely eye-opening, the difference between teaching a student who has a brain deficiency and just a general ed.
You have to have a lot more patience to say things like 3 or 4 times more than you would with another student.
Yeah. So that was our experience.